The film I selected for my term project is Lights Out. This movie was directed by David F. Sandberg and released in 2016. Deciding what movie to study was not an easy task, as the horror genre is massive, ranging from crime, science fiction, gore, paranormal, apocalyptic, etc. What stood out to me about the film Lights Out was the use of lighting to convey horror. Before taking this course, I gave very little thought to how lighting can greatly impact movies. The use of lighting as a focal point in horror films was not within my frame of reference. This is what most drew me to the film. As I researched the film, I discovered that Lights Out was actually inspired by a short film of the same name that was released in 2013. This short film was also created by David F. Sandberg. The short film Lights Out went viral. This led to it grabbing the attention of some major production companies. One of those companies was Warner Brothers Studios. Warner Brothers Studios was so impressed with the short film that they later adapted it into a full-length feature film by the same name, Lights Out. Humans have an innate fear of the dark. Darkness alone can instill fear in much of the population. This fear stems from the unknown that lurks in the dark. From as early as humans walked this planet, lighting our surroundings in the midst of darkness was a biological need. What this film did was take away that light. Without light, we wait for what comes next, what lies in that darkness. Lights Out uses the dark to continuously drum up fear in the viewer. Light is a normal part of life. Giving very little thought about our day-to-day existence, life fluctuates between day and night, light and dark. In the horror film realm, light is more significant than the monotony of its everyday uses. As the light dims, so does our comfort. The ability to breathe with the ease of knowing our surroundings dissipates. What monster lurks in the shadows? Even the ordinary becomes distorted. In the dark, a jacket in the closet shape shifts into a man, a tree branch into a spirit outside the window. Even a baby could turn into a boogeyman in the dark. When the viewer realizes this, it is almost comical. What makes the mind wander? At times, what we see in our mind's eye in the dark, in light, makes us laugh when we realize how foolish we are for our perceptions. Every time there is a scene that is dark or dimly lit, the viewer fears there will be something that comes out of the darkness. The viewer is looking for a monster in the dark. Even when there isn't a monster, the darkness itself has a physical form. This movie makes one reflect on their own behaviors. Imagine sitting in a dim room. There is a slight movement of light on the other side of the room. Barely noticeable, yet it can be seen from the corner of one's eye. Drawn to the light, a glance in that direction reveals nothing out of the ordinary. Yet, light is not often mistaken, deep within. The feeling that there was a presence of light can't be shaken. The uneasiness of this slight happening keeps one wondering, was that something sinister or a figment of a wild imagination? Lights Out reminds the viewer of this through the use of lighting, or rather, the lack thereof. For those who are deep into horror, this may not be on their level in regards to scare factor. Yet, in the right setting, in a dark or dimly lit room, screening the movie, whether at home or in the theater, this movie has plenty of nerve-wracking moments. One cannot deny that there are many instances in the movie that will have the viewer checking their own surroundings. Knowing that the viewer is most likely watching in the dark is one of the advantages of the Lights Out. It uses the darkness surrounding the viewer to draw upon one's fears of monsters in the dark. Rest assured that this movie will leave the viewers wondering about all the things that can happen in the dark long after the movie credits have ended.